Hello, everyone. Let us now see, Ramakrishna Paramhansa, in the segment of socio-religious reform movement. This is the third segment of socio-religious reform movement. We have been talking, about all these socio-religious reform movements, starting from Raja Ram Mohan Roy to, Henry Louis. Vivian Derozio, Vidya Sagar, M.G. Ranade, Kesab Chand Sen, Baba Gopal Walankar, Faguji Basod, Jyotirao Phule, Vittal Ramji Shinde. All these people contributed in the mission of reforming our society, raising the questions of caste, women's rights, women's education, and also freedom and liberation of India from the shackles of the British colonialism. Now, though the last 4 or 5 reformers were basically, uh, coming from the Dalit movement's tradition, where we saw that what sort of questions they were raising, starting from Jyotirao Phule to Savitribai Phule to Bansod to Shinde, and Walankar. Now, let us enter into some other domains where we see that this is also something has to do with religious reform movements which had a social, economic, and political impact. So, starting from Ramakrishna Paramhansa, who was a spiritual teacher of Swami Vivekananda, was basically a poor priest at Kali temple in Dachineshwar, Calcutta. And in fact, from the very early age, sort of felt certain kind of spiritual trances, which is kind of, highest spiritual experience in Hinduism. And Ramakrishna Paramhansa, he was kind of having a universal teachings by using simple parables and metaphors, and founded Ramakrishna Mutt with monastic disciples and focus on renunciation and practical spirituality. There's a story of Ramakrishna Paramahansa that he was in a way, testing his disciples kind of determinations, and then only was expecting that disciples would be doing certain kind of meditations, and ultimately he was accepting them as his disciples. So Paramahansa's one disciple called Swami Vivekananda, who was in fact in fact followed. So this is Ramakrishna Paramahansa, and this is Swami Vivekananda, very popular for giving a speech at Chicago World Religion Conference. Moving on to Swami Vivekananda's spreading Ramakrishna message. He was at the young age, he was known as Narendranath, who became Swami Vivekananda, and he sort of reconciled it, Ramakrishna Paramhansa missions with contemporary, Indian society. He was a preacher of Neo-Hinduism by emphasizing on Vedanta, fundamental oneness of God, and also advocated a healthy balance between spiritualism and materialism, social action, and humanitarian belief. So by the founding of the Ramakrishna mission in 97, Belur became the headquarter, and there were twin objectives that monks dedicated to renunciation and practical spirituality, and also the second objective was to preaching, philanthropy, and charitable work. It was not a proselytizing body which recognizes the value of all religions, and that that was the reason that Swami Vivekananda was in fact invited to speak on the conference of the world religions. If we see the legacy and impact of Ramakrishna movement, Swami Vivekananda teaching bridge spirituality and day-to-day life, the emphasis on service to humanity, technology, and modern science. There's a worldwide presence with schools, hospitals, and relief efforts. Ramakrishna Mission is very active, and also monastic order open to all men without discrimination on the basis of caste or creed. So in that sense, like it does not qualify any kind of caste hierarchy to be part of the Ramakrishna Mission. On the other hand, if Ramakrishna Paramahansa Ramakrishna Mission was not a proselytizing body, the activities by Dayananda Saraswati, by founding of Arya Samaj, indeed kind of created certain kind of mission of Arya Samaj, which led to various kind of controversies, and which led to various discussion whether Arya Samaj really meant to talk about all those ideals, or it has to do something with creating a very singular kind of narrative of religion. So as it was founded by Dayananda Saraswati, who published his views in Satyartha Prakash, the idea of casteless, united India were basically inspired by the Vedas. So again, the Ram Mohan Roy was interpreting Vedas by saying, about monotheism, and also, criticizing the caste hierarchy. Arya Samaj is in fact again talking about casteless society. But if we see the very idea of advocating back to Vedas is also considered as a revivalism. So it's in contrast to the socio-religious reform movement, within the reform movements, this strand of revivalism is very much seen in Dayanand's writings and activities, where advocating back to Vedas, go back to Vedas, it means that there are a lot of impurity which has sort of intruded into the Hindu religion, and that is the reason of the religious decay. So one need to go back to Vedas to in a way experience certain originality. And also the later part of Hindu scriptures were also critiqued by Dayananda Saraswati, because that was the reason of decay of Hinduism, and this was basically written by the ignorant priests and escapist beliefs. So also emphasize individual interpretation of scriptures and right to access to God. By attacking Hindu orthodoxy, caste rigidity, untouchability, idolatry, and polytheism, Arya Samaj was initially not liked by many of the reformers of that time, who were trying to remain in the fold of Hindu religion, but talking about some of the peripheral issues. So what were the principles and ideals of Arya Samaj? If we see, there was 10 guiding principles including God as a primary source of knowledge. God is all truth, all knowledge, almighty, immortal creator of universe, is alone worthy of worship. The Vedas are the books of true knowledge. And Arya should always be ready to accept truth and abandon untruth. Dharma, that is due consideration of the right and wrong, should be the guiding principle of all actions. The principal aim of the Samaj is to promote world's well-being in the material, spiritual, and social sense. Everybody should be treated with love and justice. Ignorance is to be dispelled and knowledge increased. One's own progress should depend on uplifting of all others. And lastly, social well-being of mankind is to be placed above an individual's well-being. So, to in a way, if we see the 10 guiding principle of religion, we're starting from God is the primary source of knowledge, that what we are seeing, that this very idea of individuals well-being and all these seems very progressive in nature. But there was a split and legacy of Arya Samaj in 1893 over a curriculum on language and vegetarianism. So this, in a way, started again within the Arya Samaj, certain kind of Brahminism is dominating within the fold of Arya Samaj. Again, there was College Party versus Mahatma Party, DAV College versus Gurukul kind of debate, where what we need, whether we need Dayanand Anglo-Vedic College, or we need Gurukul, or we need Mahatma Party or College Party. So there's this Gurukul Kangri, which has been established, aimed at indigenous education and social reform. So Arya Samaj's impact on Hindu self-respect, Shuddhi movement for reconversion. This has been a very, very controversial kind of issue, where the very idea of Ghar Wapsi and others in our times has been kind of analyzed by scholars as the revivalism of the Arya Samaj's goal of Shuddhi movements, etc. Let us now move to another very, very important organization called Seva Sadan, which was founded by Behramji M. Malabari and Diwan Dayaram Gidumal in 1908. This advocated against child marriage and promoted widow remarriage. Seva Sadan was instrumental in the enactment of the Age of Consent Act. Remember, I have actually dealt in the other segment that how the Age of Consent Act was increased from the very early age to 12 years. And also Seva Sadan has been very active in providing education, medical facility and welfare services to destitute women of all caste. Deva Samaj by Shiv Narayan Agnihotri again was established in Lahore, which emphasized the eternity of the soul, also supremacy of the Guru and good actions. Again, like others, it advocated against child marriage and promoted ethical conduct. And the teachings of Shiv Narayan Agnihotri was compiled in a book called Deva Shastra. Dharma Sabha by Radhakant Dev, founded in 1830, was an organization which, in a way, was Orthodox society, and it was for preserving socio-religious status quo. Of course, it opposed sati but favored Western education even for girls. And one of the early defenders of conservative Hinduism was Radhakant Dev. So this goes in the tradition of that what early kind of influence on Arya Samaj was from the Radha Gandhi by Dharma Sabha and other organization. Now, Bharat Dharma Mahamandala and Radha Swami movement, if we talk about, so Bharat Dharma Mahamandala was formed in 1902 to defend Orthodox Hinduism, which again advocated proper management of Hindu religious institution and education. And Radha Swami movement was founded by Tulsi Ram in 1861, which believed in one supreme being, supremacy of Guru, like Dharma Sabha, and a simple social life, accepted all religions as true. So, to some extent, it was not really the uh, defenders of the conservative Hinduism. Now, again, uh, we are moving to one of the Dalit part of a Dalit movement, called Arvi Puram movement, or Sri Narayana Guru Dharma Paripalana SNDP movement. Sri Narayana Guru, who was in Kerala, came from a community called Edavas, and Edavas were considered as untouchables, and they were denied education and temple entry. Now, the practice of untouchability in Kerala was manifested uh, in a very brutal form. And in fact, Swami Vivekananda once reflected on the untouchability in Kerala by saying that the Kerala society is a den of ignorance. Reason behind saying this was that it was not only the practice of untouchability which meant Swami Vivekananda to reflect on Kerala society in a very negative stance, but it was also something called unseeability, right? And also the lower strata of society, the untouchables, or Shudra people, or Edavas, or Panchamas, or Pulayas, or Parayas, they were not allowed to cover their upper body, or they were not allowed to even imitate. Especially women were not allowed to cover their bosoms, and they were not allowed to wear that what upper caste women were wearing. So in that sense, there were many kind of agitations, resentment, and protest against these kind of practices. So of course, the very legendary folk tales is that one woman basically cut her breast in protest because she was not allowed to cover her upper body, and that agitated, that in fact infuriated the Kerala society, and the kind of laws were passed later on by the king, and ultimately that what we see that gradually Dalits were kind of coming to the public participation against all kind of injustices committed against them. So Narayana Guru is one very, very important social reformer in the series of Dalit reformers, starting from Jyotirao Phule and others. So in Kerala, the very influence of Narayana Guru is is immense. Uh, and especially the Edava community has been transformed by SNDP Yogam, where by establishing hospitals, educational institutes, colleges and university, and also providing various kind of facilities to women, particularly so that they can equally participate into the social life, unlike the Edvas of Narayana Guru's time when he laid Arvi Puram Pratisthanam, which was basically a kind of religious movement to have access to God, because untouchables and people from the lower caste communities like Pulayas and Parayas were not allowed to enter into the temple's sacred sanctorum, or in fact even in the vicinity of the temple. So they had to kind of stand outside, or they had to even maintain a social distance, starting from 10 feet to 12 feet to 72 feet. uh, and the upper caste like Nambudripats and Nambiyars, and of course there are a lot of uh, kind of social upward mobility of Nayars and Nadars and others who who were part of the lower strata, but because of the having certain kind of financial mobility, they have gained social status. So there has been Sanskritization in that sense of the imitations of the upper caste, cultures, customs, and traditions. But Narayana Guru message has been, like one God. So this Arvi Puram Pratisthanam, in fact, is a very interesting story where Narayana Guru picking up a stone and then revering that stone by worshipping it, and the onlookers, the passerby from upper caste, they found it Narayana Guru, and and they are claiming that Edavas belong from an untouchable community, and they are not supposed to worship. Now, Narayana Guru very strategically responding to the question said that this is not, Brahmin's Shiva. This is Edva's Shiva, right? So Edva's Shiva is untouchable, and Brahmins are not supposed to see or touch Edva's Shiva, because they will be then, impure, right? And through these strategies, by establishing various temples, Narayana Guru gave a sense of confidence to the people of Dalit community in Kerala, where they were having access to their own temples. And this is unprecedented in Indian history, that there were many temples in Kerala established by Edava community for their own kind of spiritual access to God. So in that sense, Narayana Guru's installation of a Siva Linga challenged the caste-based consecration, and and this initiated a revolution in Kerala society. This is Narayana Guru, Mahatma Narayana Guru, if we may call it. And the formation of SNDP Yogam in 1903, was basically, to kind of extend the activities of, Narayana Guru. Of course, he was a permanent chairman, but Kumaran Asan was general secretary. And the objective was that upliftment of the Edva community and also fighting for social justice. Dr. Palapu's effort is acknowledged in SNDP activities, by advocating, school admission for Edvas, and also government jobs, and road access, temple entry, and political representation. Temple entry movement, in fact, was led by SNDP Yogam in 1920s, where in fact Gandhi met Narayana Guru, and Gandhi participated in temple entry movement in south of India. So it has a transformative impact. Narayana Guru, in fact, from Islam to Hinduism to Christianity, was kind of having kind of understanding of all religions, and also writing about praises about these religions. Not even not even criticizing Hinduism per se. Narayana Guru, in fact, held all religions as equal, and also condemned divisiveness based on caste, race or creed. Uh, Guru urged Edwas to abandon, Todi tapping. So Edwas, they were engaged into Todi tapping, which is like tapping, a Todi juice which people consume, which has certain kind of intoxicity, and also called for abandoning drinking toddy, right, which can be considered as kind of alcoholic kind of tendency. Also asked for promoting brotherhood, and Guru kind of focused on structural changes like a certain kind of upward social mobility was achieved because of the SNDP's activity, a redistribution of power in the society, and united backward castes, and the SNDP movement became a significant phase for social justice and empowerment in Kerala. Now, from Guru to there's anti-Brahmin movement in Mysuru in Karnataka. This is a Vokkaliga Sangha anti-Brahmin movement. If you see that the objective was to challenge the upper caste dominance, they were Vokkaliga Sangha members who started Vokkaliga Sangha anti-Brahmin movement. In Madras presidency, the very justice movement was in fact, was for the inclusion of non-Brahmins into the legislative representation. So it was kind of movement for political representation. C.N. Mudaliar, T.M. Nair, and P. Tyagaraja, they were part of the justice movement in 1917. Self-respect movement, mid 1920s, E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar Periyar, who is popularly known as Periyar. Periyar, the idea was rejection of, Brahminical religion and culture. The methods were to formalizing weddings without Brahmin priests. So this was the movement of the self-respect movement for the people of the lower caste communities. And in fact, it asks for inter-caste marriages and interdining among the upper caste and lower caste communities. Temple entry movement, as I said, that T.K. Madhavan, Kesava, K. Kelappan, P. Krishna Pillai, A.K. Gopalan, and others, they were part of the temple entry movement, which coincided with Vaikam Satyagraha and Guruvayur in 1920s and 30s. The Vaikam movement, and SNDP's movement, all these movements coincided ultimately, and in Travancore, temples were opened for people from all strata of society in 1936, and resulted in 1938 to open the temples in Madras for people from all communities. And this particularly achievements were not at all possible if there was no kind of inspiration from Narayana Guru and Kumaranasan's work. Uh, Lastly, Tito Mir's movement 1831 by Sayyid Mir Nisar Ali, who is called Tito Mir, who was disciple of Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi. He was adherent of Wahhabi movement, who advocated Sharia, organized Muslim peasant against Hindu landlords and British indigo planters. With continuation of this was another movement called Faraisi movement. The Haji Shariatullah was the initiator of or founder of this movement, which emphasized on Islamic pillars of faith in East Bengal, and it was rather revolutionary movement under the Haji Shariatullah son's Dudu Miah, from 1840 onwards, and it has a organizational structure where from village to provincial level with authorized deputies who were called khalifas. Faraisi movements, revolutionary phase under Dudu Miah, in fact, organized with clubs to fight predominantly against Hindu zamindars and indigo planters. It was a certain kind of economic resistance where followers were asked not to pay rent. It in fact established its own codes. Dudu Mia's arrest led to decline and weakening of the movement, and this transformed into a religious movement post Dudu Mia's death in 1862. Now, the very popular the Deoband school or Darul Uloom Deoband in Saharanpur in 1866 by Muhammad Qasim Naunatvi and Rashid Ahmad Gangohi. This is a very popular movement among Muslims of India or Muslims of Indian subcontinent, pertaining especially from Pakistan and Bangladesh in currently. Deoband school in a way propagated pure Quranic teaching, hadith, and spirit of jihad against foreign rulers. Foreign rulers were supposed to be annihilated, and for that, one need to, consider it that they have to be removed by anyhow. And this was, contrast with the Aligarh movement, which focused on moral and and in fact, Aligarh movement was an educational movement, and I have skipped Aligarh movement especially for another segment where we'll be dedicating on Aligarh movement later on, where Deoband school particularly, which is called Darul Uloom Deoband, has been very phenomenal in generating certain kind of consciousness among Muslims of India. With Shibli Nomani and others who established Nadwatul Ulama, who were Deoband supporters, but also talked about inclusion of English and science. This Nadwatul Ulama was founded in Lucknow instead of Deoband, Darul Uloom Deoband founded in Saharanpur. In fact, Nadwatul Ulama and Deoband both supported the idealism of Congress and cooperation between Muslims and Hindus for a harmonious state. So I end here with this segment on socio-religious reform movement part 3. And in the next segment, we'll try to understand the Government of India Act 1858, which is a very, very important act, precisely because of the fact that this course, talks about nationalism and constitutional growth from 1858 to 1920. And 1858 is a time where there's a transfer of power from East India Company to British Raj. Now British Raj took the direct control of Indian subcontinent, and then on they started controlling it from the Parliament of England. Thank you. We'll have reflection on Government of India Act in the next segment.